Hello everyone, and welcome to the Brony UK channel. It's me, Sam. I know I have not done a video in ages on this channel, but I wanted to discuss with you all. I'm not the only person to actually kind of think about this possible theory. There is at least one video on YouTube that I know of, which I will obviously mention in this video, and people should check this other video out. What I want to talk about today is, to be frank, something that I feel like is staring everybody in the face, and I don't think a lot of people have noticed it. So, as we all know, one of the big things about My Little Pony is the elements of harmony. As we know, there are 6, representing the main 6, being Twilight, Rarity, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie. However, it has long been debated that there is possibly a 7th element. Now, I've always had the belief that Spike is actually secretly the 7th element. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I've always thought this. Chief among them is due to a theory that popped up about 3 years ago, which I don't know how many people know about, but I've got the information here. So this is a post that was posted on the MLP forums, and it was posted in 2015. And it was posted by a user by the name of Nightmare Muffin. So a shout out to Nightmare Muffin. They pointed out the first thing is that obviously in episode 2 of season 1, when the main 6 find the elements of harmony on their pedestal, in that shot there are actually all 6 of the elements visible. It was confirmed that this is not an animation error. This is in fact correct. All 6 elements do show, and it wasn't by accident. Now, the next time we actually see one of these elements is in the episode Secret of My Excess, which is obviously the episode where Spike grows to Godzilla proportions. In that episode, the moment where Twilight is basically trying to stop Spike adding stuff to his hoard, you can actually see one of the elements, the stone elements, in his hoard. That literally suggests that Spike could well be the 7th element. Now, before I move on to another post which basically covers another interesting theory, there's something else I should point out. There already is a 7th element. In fact, I'm going to point out to you all the 7th element. Sunset Shimmer. I'm 100% sure that Sunset Shimmer is the 7th element. Now, the reason I am not like 100% sure that she's the 7th element is because it's obvious. If you really think about it, it's pretty obvious that Sunset Shimmer is element number 7. However, I think she's only the 7th element in the Equestria Girls universe. Because obviously, the first time Twilight passes over into that universe, she is still the element of magic. She still represents the 6th element. Obviously, she always will. However, in the second one, in the second film, Rainbow Rocks, Sunset Shimmer gains her pony power up, and it's obvious from that moment that she obviously is an element bearer. So, we could still count the Equestria Girls universe Twilight as an element, but Sunset is most definitely an element user, or bearer. So that more or less confirms that there are indeed 7 elements, which again heavily suggests that there is a 7th element in Equestria. And I've always believed it's Spike, because Spike is the closest to the main 6. He's been with Twilight since the beginning. In fact, in a lot of ways, he was her first friend before she had any friends. And he has been instrumentally important in small ways. Plus, he's always there when you need him. He's always hanging around major events in certain ways. Now, there's an interesting post that was put up on Twitter recently, and this was in response to someone asking a question about Sunset Shimmer. No, sorry, not Sunset Shimmer. Starlight Glimmer. Sorry, getting the names mixed up. So, someone inquired about Starlight Glimmer, and obviously about the seventh element. Now, the answer was passed on to Big Jim. Shout out to Big Jim on Twitter. Big Jim is basically the man in charge of the animation for MLP. Now, this may find interesting. So he had this to say about this query, okay? There was never an intention to have her, so obviously Starlight Glimmer, to be the seventh member of the group. That honour belongs to Spike. From our standpoint, her purpose is always to be more of a longer arc about what it takes to earn redemption. It doesn't just happen and things are a-okay. You have to work at it every day, and some days you fall short. That's why she's more often than not the TS and not a full teacher. So she's obviously like a substitute teacher, the guidance counsellor, yeah? She's still learning and growing, and her past experiences is what makes her great at the counselling position. It's the fact that it states that she was never intended to be the seventh member of the group. That honour belongs to Spike. To me, that pretty much confirms it. Spike is number 7 of the main 6. He is the 7th member. And if they've just confirmed that, that literally in my mind says that Spike is element number 7. So if that's the case, that leaves 2 questions that I feel needs to be asked. Question 1. What is the 7th element? Now, you could... This may sound a bit kind of cliche, but it's entirely possible that the 7th element is friendship. Because you know, you've got magic, loyalty, honesty, kindness, generosity, and I've forgotten the 6th one. Magic, loyalty, kindness, generosity. This is no good. I'm forgetting things, people. Honesty, kindness, laughter, generosity, loyalty, magic. Thank you, Wikipedia. Right. So, the 7th one. Now, as I said, I think the 7th element, which if we are correct represents Spike, is friendship. Which, to a large extent, would represent Spike. He is very much friendship. The next question is Spike going to in some way take a more active role? Is he perhaps going to really come out of his shell? Now, I do know that it's been confirmed that Season 8, the current season, is going to actually answer the question of who Spike's parents are. And we might even find out how his egg ended up in the possession of Celestia. Now, that's interesting. And there's something else that I've always been curious about with Spike. It may not have any notion on him being the 7th member of the group, plus quite possibly being the 7th element. But I've always been curious about why Spike pretty much has the ability to send messages magically. Like, you write a message, he basically shoots fire at it, it effectively gets shit sent off to Celestia, or even Luna, or possibly any pony that he wants it to go to. And in turn, they can reply and send a message directly to him, which he then effectively creates out of the fire again. Right? How does he do that? That's never been answered. I feel like that would be an interesting question. Like, how is he able to magically teleport letters? It's never actually been answered. But anyway, so that literally is something I wanted to bring up. Spike being the 7th element. In that way, by the way, I would advise that everybody checks out a video that's just been posted up on Equestria Daily, and it's by a YouTuber called Dr. Wolf, and the video is titled "There's Always Been a 7th Element of Harmony." in that video, he more or less goes down the theory of it being Spike. So again, that's more background we can go on, that Spike is the 7th element of harmony. So really, not to blabber on, because to be frank, there's not much more to say. I'd love to know people's opinions on this. 100%. If you see this video, if you're an MLP fan, please, 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 put your comments below. I'd love to know everybody's opinion on this subject. What do you think about the possibility of Spike being the 7th element of harmony? And also, what do you think his coming of age story will be? Because I think in a way, if it does happen, that will be his coming of age story. Something will happen where he may well be the primary character of a 2-part episode. Thank you very much for watching this video of Bronies UK. This has been Sam. Peace out.